What's up, everyone? I'm Matt with Ozark Overland Adventures, and as you can see, Sully's getting some work done. I am crazy excited because we are finally re-gearing the Gladiator. Now, the factory 410 gears, they do great in town. They have been fantastic on the trail, but quite honestly, I am getting tired of running 6th gear when I have an 8-speed transmission on the interstate. My average miles per gallon is typically in the high 11s, low 12s when I'm on the interstate. And I know we don't buy these things for fuel economy, but gosh, that's horrible. So I am at Mud Connections in Little Rock, Arkansas, and these are the people that I trust to re-gear my Jeep. There's not many places that I do, but these guys are fantastic, and this is where I have decided to bring Sully to get some new gears. Ozark Overland Adventures is proudly supported by the More Expo, the Midwest's only indoor event for adventure travel enthusiasts. Artemis Overland Hardware. They have the passion and knowledge to ensure that your next outdoor experience is more than a camping trip, it's an adventure. And Long Creek Overland, your source for Ozark Overland Adventures merchandise and more. Going through the teardown process is always fun because you find other things, and we have discovered my ball joints on the passenger side are loose. That should not have that play in it. The gears that we have selected to go on the Gladiator are 529 gears from Nitro Gear and Axle. The factory 410s have been good, but with the 37s, they just can't handle driving on the interstate. I am consistently in 6th gear, 7th gear if I'm lucky. I've got an 8-speed transmission. It would be really nice to get that 8th gear back. And what that does is it just makes everything a little bit easier on the engine, the transmission, getting up to speed, maintaining speed, just helps it drive a lot easier. Just like if you're riding a mountain bike, when you go into a lower gear for climbing hills, your legs don't have to work as hard as if you're in one of the taller gears and one of the fast gears and really having to strain to get up that hill. It's the same way with your vehicle and your engine. Having a different gear set makes it easier just on the engine, on the transmission. I was going to go with 513s instead of 529s, but 513s are back ordered and hard to get. So because there's not much of a difference between 513 and 529, went with that. And as you can see, the pinion is a little bit smaller on the 529. There's more teeth per inch on the 410s as opposed to the 529s. So there's always a little bit of a trade-off. There is potential for this to, be a weak point, although with the Nitro, I don't think that's going to be an issue. But I think this is going to be great. And I mean, I am happy with the 529s over the 513s because I do have a trailer that I will be pulling. Right now, I absolutely will not pull my trailer with my Gladiator with the 410s and the 37s, because then I would be like running in 4th and 5th gear, and that would really suck. So do have a trailer, and the 529s will help with that. And when it's time to get new tires, I'll probably go up a size. Maybe 38s, maybe 39s, who knows, maybe 40s, and really see what these factory axles can handle with how we wheel. But that way I'll be set up for success when I do go up to a little bigger tire. But I am crazy excited. I averaged 12.1 miles per gallon on the way down here on the interstate. And so when this is all done, I'm gonna be excited to see what my miles per gallon becomes going home. I would be ecstatic if I could maintain 15 miles per gallon or more. I mean, 15 is like my minimum. I would love to be able to hold 15 miles per gallon on the interstate. doing 75, 80 miles an hour. So we will see, but I'm optimistic. All right, while I'm here, let me show you around the inside here and just show you all the different things that they carry. This is a great shop to actually come in and get stuff that they have. They carry ARB fridges, they've got the rough country fridges, they've got the National Luna fridges, which I've never actually seen one in person. They have this one set on negative 19 degrees. Oh wow. I love the fact that these have multiple trays. That makes getting stuff in and out super handy. Okay, that's a nice plus for National Luna. We got Warren winches, winch accessories, Warren accessories, Factor 55 accessories. I love these things. I really need to get one of these type of snatch blocks for synthetic line. Bubba rope. I say all the time, if you don't have a kinetic rope, you need to get one. Fox shocks over here. Rome cases. Front runner accessories. These snatchets are fantastic. I need to get a couple of those. I believe that's an Atlas transfer case if you need one. PSC steering components. Wheels. God, these TerraFlex wheels are just incredible. They're not cheap, but they are incredible. They've actually got two valve stem options that you can just open and air down your tires. These things are sweet. As far as innovation goes in wheels, I think TerraFlex is winning right now because those are sweet. Moto metal, fuel, methods. We've even got some cool little grills. This little camping grill would be handy. Mud Connection is a sweet shop just to come and, they very well might have what you're looking for in stock, and if not, they can order it for you. But really handy to have a shop like this. That's only 30 minutes from me, so yay for that. But it's the work that they do here that is incredible. Let me show you around the lot and some of the rigs they've got, some of the projects that they're working on, because they're pretty awesome. Now, I am a sucker for old Jeeps, and this, I have no idea what year this is, but it is gorgeous. Look at this. Here they've got this old CJ Renegade. Oh, I want one so bad. I would love to have an old CJ. But I saw this from a distance and wanted to look at this. Look at this Scout. He said this has been a long-term project. The engine's been redone. They're working on the interior. The owner of it wanted to redo all the important stuff underneath the engine and stuff, but wanted to keep the body with the little rust pieces and leave it looking the way it does. I think that's fantastic. I love these things. They just look so cool. I think it'd be a whole lot of fun to drive something like that. Probably not like on a long trip, but have something like that to wheel around town. I mean, just going to the grocery store in an old classic International Scout would be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool. So they've got 22 bays at their shop that they can work on all different kinds of rigs. It's not just Jeeps and Toyotas, but I mean, in here they've got Chevys, Fords, all different makes and models, all different years. I mean, they literally can do it all. Their mechanics are top notch. But they do a lot of work on Land Cruisers. Look at this one. I'm not sure what they're doing with this one. I've got that Land Cruiser. They've got this TJ that looks really nice. Oh, this is like, oh, what the heck? Oh, that would be so cool. Not much use for it in Arkansas, but that's really cool. Look at this beast. It's an old Cherokee Chief. And I talked to Charlie. They're doing an LS swap on this. Oh my gosh, they call it the Safari Buggy or something like that. It's an old Jeep Cherokee Chief. That looks gorgeous. Oh my gosh, I'm drooling right now. That's incredible. That body restored like that, Line-X, cage, LS swap. That's going to be cool. That's going to be way cool. What else we got back here in the secret dungeon? I feel like I'm in like their secret lab. Another Land Cruiser. Another Land Cruiser. Another, ooh, that's a really old Land Cruiser. That's pretty. Another CJ5. Now this, if Kara saw this, she would just die. That is gorgeous. I love those old Land Cruisers. With the jump seats in the back. You got this Land Cruiser, then you have a modern Land Cruiser. I like that. I like the little topo wrap on that back corner. That was cool. Oh look, that's a beautiful Gladiator. Love it. It is nice to be able to get your rig up on a lift and just look under it. See what all you've scraped. Look at your skid plates. Not too bad. I mean, I have beat the crap out of this thing, but the skid plates still look pretty darn good. Another TJ. That one's in great condition. That's beautiful. Rock and roll. Another TJ. Another Toyota. Well, as you can see, they do a whole lot here. Crazy impressed with these guys. I've got Thomas here. He is one of the owners of Mud Connection, and wanted y'all to meet him and just find out some of the history of this place, because Mud Connection's been around for a long time.
For a long time.
And y'all were in Southwest Little Rock in a little 3-bay shop.
It was
for a long time.
It was actually 8 bays, but just like most shops, you end up with 4 bays are for storage, and and then there's a project vehicle stuck in at least one of them. And Mud Connection, has roots back to the early 80s. Was originally started by a man named Jim, who has a son-in-law named Charlie, who is Charlie McGrew is still here.
Charlie's still here, doing great work.
And so anyway, Charlie ran it from the 80s until last year. And I've been a customer of Mud Connections for a long time. Always enjoyed it. I've had many rigs through here. I'm a car nut. I love 4-wheel drives. Love vehicles.
Let's say how many 4-wheel drives do you have now?
It's becoming more of a need of therapy as opposed to collecting at this point.
Yeah, obsession probably is the word.
I've got a few. I got a few Land Cruisers and a few Jeeps, and so I just love them, and I'm in a position in my life. I've been blessed, and I have a good business. But last year I had a rig that I was working on at Mud Connection, and I was talking to Charlie, and I said, Charlie, you ought to move over here to this building on University that I owned. I had a car auction here at one point. I said, you ought to move down here. You got tons of space. And Charlie goes, buddy, I'm headed the other direction. He goes, I'm thinking about retiring. He goes, why don't you buy it? And it was a conversation just like this. And I said, what are you thinking? And he threw a number out, and I said, does that include the building? And he goes, absolutely. And I mean, on the spot, kind of like that. We did our due diligence, but about like that.
All of a sudden you became an owner of an off-road shop.
I became an owner of an off-road shop. I've got a partner named Ryan Holder, who is the numbers guy. He understands all the accounting. I'm the passionate guy that goes, we're going to lift everything, and we're going to do all these projects. Charlie still has ownership, and Brian has ownership, and Henry has ownership. So those are the guys that run the front and make sure everything gets processed correctly, and so we've got a good system here.
Yeah, that's awesome. And this location has 20 something
We got
bays.
24,000 square feet, and I think you're about right. We've got about 22 main bays that we can get vehicles in and out of, and then we've got another, I think, 14 on the back there for storage, for project rigs and stuff.
Storage for project rigs.
But yeah, we've got a lot of room, and it was funny because when we moved in here, we were looking around thinking, well, we're gonna have so much room. We're gonna be able to store stuff here, and we're at capacity most days.
Yeah,
We're
I
running out of
mean,
room.
the bays down where y'all are doing the Regear on the Gladiator are just packed with active customers that you're working on and project rigs, and
It is. It's
pretty exciting.
I use the saying a lot. I've used it in business for years. Of be careful what you pray for. Be careful
you
what
might get it.
You might get it, and it's the dog chasing the car. It's like the dog chases the car, but what do you do when you catch it? Now you got your teeth in the bumper of a car, and it's gone.
Yeah.
And that's really what's happened here. We have advertised. Charlie has created an atmosphere here of treating people right, and if there is a problem that comes up, make it right. Just make it right. Doesn't matter what you have to do to make it right, but make it right. And because of that, the business has grown. We've got 5 technicians back there working that are excellent. And I'm not just saying this, but I've been to other shops, and other shops have good techs. Nothing against them, but we have really phenomenal guys that can do gear work, which is a hard thing to find.
I'm crazy impressed with Dustin working on my Gladiator. He's very meticulous and very impressed.
They all are. They're all. And Dustin's been here. I think Dustin's been here the longest. He's going on almost 10 years right now. But if somebody said, all right, so what sets Mud Connection apart from anybody else? I mean, we've got the showroom. A lot of places have showrooms.
Right.
You can buy rims at a lot of different places. You can buy bumpers, winches, all that stuff. You can go pick a number of shops in Little Rock or in Arkansas and pick those. But when it comes to the mechanical side of it, a bumper makes your rig look cool, and it helps you get through the woods to a destination. You got to have your gears working right. Your transfer case has to work right. Your transmission.
Yeah.
All of the mechanical stuff. If that doesn't work right, now you're in trouble.
Right.
Now you've gone from baling wire and duct tape to fix it to really a major problem. So
Right.
I'd say with what we've got here, we're going to make sure you get in and out of the woods the best way possible.
Yeah.
And I think that's what really sets us apart from other guys.
Well, and I think just from what I've seen, you guys do everything from oil changes to full restoration and engine swaps.
Yes. Yeah.
So y'all can do it all. And y'all don't just specialize in one vehicle, because y'all have got Toyotas back there, you've got Jeeps back there,
Scout
you've got
and a Bronco.
Scout, Bronco. I mean, you've got them all back there.
Yeah.
Land Cruisers.
Yeah, that's. I think that's been something that Charlie and Brian have cultivated over the years, is the ability to work on anything, and that's once again that goes back to the techs back there. It goes back to Charlie and Brian. I'm pointing over here like y'all can see Brian and Charlie over there, but they are. But that goes back to that expertise on a variety of rigs. It's you've kind of got to be a Renaissance mechanic or a Renaissance expert on a little bit of everything. So yeah, we do full projects. Right now, we've got an area in the back where the safari wagon is.
Mm-hmm. Saw that.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Where the safari wagon is.
Bronco chassis on the ground.
Oh yeah. there's a Bronco back there, and it is a body that's sitting there. There's a frame that's sitting there, and then there's about 10 boxes this big, and we swear there's a Bronco in those boxes. I swear there is. But yeah, we've got some project rigs back there that we're going to have an area back there strictly for projects.
That was my favorite. That was my favorite spot of the whole walk around.
fun.
Was that little back room?
Yeah, well, a project, it's like the problem with working on projects is most places don't have the space. And a project is you work for 4 hours and then you wait for 2 weeks for a part to come in, and then you work for 4 hours and you wait, and so it's a very space consuming project.
Yeah.
And so we're fortunate here. We've got the space, and we're getting that cleaned out and getting it prepped.
Right, today is the day. It is ready. Can you tell the difference? Can you tell the difference? No, you cannot.
But I bet you I can when I drive it. Because here's the thing. I mean, the lift, the tires, the rack, everything, all of that is way cool and definitely helps. But don't overlook the mods that you can't see that make a significant impact. Anytime you're gonna put bigger tires on your vehicle, you gotta compensate for that. Or you're gonna put more wear and tear on your engine, your transmission. That truck's really loud. Like really loud. Like dang, that's not necessary. But don't overlook the mods that you can't see. Now, no one's gonna be able to look at me and go, oh wow, I love the new gears. But I'm gonna love the new gears, and I'm gonna see how it performs as I drive home. Now, before I go anywhere, I need to reprogram the Jeep for the gears. And since I have the Taser Mini plugged in here, I can do that very simply. There we go. Gear ratio is set to 529. And gear ratio set. This process of recalibrating the computer for the gears is critical because that's going to change your mileage, it's going to change your speedometer, it's going to change your shift points, and all that sort of thing. So if you regear, upgrade your tire sizes, whatever, if your vehicle has the ability, definitely reprogram it for what you've done. Well, pulling out, I can definitely tell an immediate difference just hitting the throttle and how quickly it moves. It's a significant difference between the 410s and the 529s. I am anxious to get it on the interstate and see what gas mileage does. But I want to brag on Muddy Connections for just a minute, because I wanted this done before my third trip to Moab, and definitely before my trip to the Upper Peninsula for core. And just because of the timing and everything, Charlie was just flat out honest with me. He said, man, I'm not comfortable doing it that quick, and you hitting the road and hitting trails like that for so close after doing the gears. There is a break-in period that you need to go through. They did the initial break-in period there at the shop, but the rest of it, it's another 200 miles of easy driving. I'm not going to be hitting any major trails or anything like that. Not doing any major off-roading in the next 200 miles. And don't go for more than probably 75 to 100 of those miles without being sure to give it a chance to rest and cool down. So they did the initial break-in and cool down there at the shop, and now it's up to me to make sure that I take care of these so that they really set in and set up right. Because if I just went and took off to Moab right now, I could damage my gear set as they get settled in, and then in 1,000 miles do a fluid change on the diffs. So that's what's coming up. But right now I'm curious to see about gas mileage, so let's see. Well, I'm back home, and after 30 miles-ish driving on the interstate, I am very impressed with how it did. 14.3 miles per gallon compared to, what I think, 12.2 on my way down there, so gained just over 2 miles per gallon. Crazy happy about that. I did say I would be ecstatic if I got to the 15 miles per gallon level, so not quite ecstatic, but very, very happy for sure. And time will tell. So I have another trip coming up mid-October, October 14, 15, 16, I think, to rendezvous in the Ozarks. If you're not going to that, you definitely need to look into that event. It is fantastic. There's still time, but anyway, I'm going to be pulling the trailer to that event, and I'll let you know how it goes. So very excited about that. But super pumped, glad to have 8th gear back. Glad it just is so smooth now. Downshifting to pass other vehicles, initial acceleration, that sort of thing. I can definitely tell an improvement. So is regearing worth it, especially for 37s on a Gladiator? Absolutely. It's not just worth it, you need to do it. So maybe not 526, gears, but definitely 488s or 513s. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful to you, not just for Gladiator or Wrangler owners, but for anyone. With going larger tire sizes, regearing should definitely be at the top of your list. But if you would like the video, subscribe to the channel, check out our Patreon if you want to support us in a very tangible way, and check out longcreekoverland.com for all of our merchandise, and I'll see you next time. Bye.